Welcome to the alchemy of sex and spirit, where sex, psychology and spirit meet. In this episode, we'll explore the Kama Sutra. Oh, and stay until the end for this episode's magical practice. It might just change everything. After walking for days across mountainous terrain, through dense forests, and under scorching heat, I reached the edge of a deep gorge in the mountains. There was a sign with its post drilled into the rocky ground. It identified the gorge as a ring past knot. I felt a shiver run through my body. I couldn't see anything beyond this point. I was surrounded by mist. Ahead of me stood a bridge, not a safe bridge, but a fragile, swaying, skeletal thing that stretched over a sheer drop. Weather-worn ropes, planks missing. It looked as though no one had crossed it in decades. Yet it was the only way forward, and I'd travelled far too long and with far too much purpose to turn back. As I stared at the rickety bridge, I found myself reviewing how I'd reached this moment and why I'd begun on this journey at all. My life at home was comfortable, my work, my routines, everything in order, everything predictable. Until I met him, the mysterious man who one day appeared as if from nowhere and changed everything. "What are you looking for in your life?" he asked me. The answer came to me immediately, as though he'd awakened something already waiting for me to name it. Greater understanding, I'd said, to know myself, who I really am, more wisdom, more meaning, more love. For a long moment he simply looked at me with compassion. "To know yourself," he said at last, "you must explore the mystery of sex." At first I thought I might have misunderstood him. "Why sex?" I asked incredulously. "Because sex is the vehicle that brought you into this world. Through it, your soul took on a physical body, and through understanding the mysteries of sex, you'll learn how to return, how to find your way back to your own essence." Then he placed a rolled parchment map in my hands. Before I could ask another question, he was gone. And that map led me here, to this chasm, to this trembling bridge. I looked behind me and realized there was no way back. Now I understand why it was called the ring past knot. The way leads only forward. Don't look back. I decided to cross the bridge. Fear rose in me like a tide, but I stepped forward anyway. One foot onto the first plank, then another. The bridge swayed violently. Halfway across, I glanced down. Nothing but a sheer drop. My heart pounded, but I kept going until at last my feet touched solid ground on the other side. And there, carved into the rock face, was a cave. Two serene monks sat cross-legged at the entrance. Without a word, they opened their eyes and gestured for me to enter. Inside, illuminated by a soft golden glow, sat a gentle, radiant figure. "Welcome," he said, rising to greet me. "I've been expecting you. I am Vatsyayana, author of the Kama Sutra." He smiled. "This text is not the destination, it's a doorway, a starting point for understanding the great mysteries of sex. Sit with me, and I'll show you the path." And so I sat down, ready to begin. Life rests upon three supports: Dharma, the path of virtue; Artha, the path of livelihood; and Kama, the path of pleasure and fulfillment. These three must exist in harmony, for pleasure without wisdom becomes suffering, and duty without joy becomes dry and lifeless. In the Kama Sutra, I've gathered together, he said, the teachings of the ancient science of love, so they wouldn't be lost to time. The Kama Sutra isn't a book of indulgence. It's a guide to understanding human desire, its nature, its purpose, and its rightful place in a balanced life. Study it, not to escape yourself, but to know yourself more deeply. You live in an age where sex is either exaggerated or hidden, and in both extremes, its true nature is lost. I teach that desire isn't sinful, nor is it meaningless. It's one of the pillars that supports a whole and balanced life. By understanding desire, you come to understand yourself. This is why my teaching still matters even in your current modern world and time. Understand this, he continued. Long before humans walked upon the earth, one force was recognized as the power of creation. From that first awakening, the earliest movement of mind emerged, and the sages called this movement Kama, desire, attraction. The same force that stirs passion between two people, that awakens longing, tenderness, and connection, is the very force that stirred the universe into life. This is why I teach that sex is far more than a physical urge. It's a reflection of cosmic truth. Human procreation mirrors cosmic creation. Desire isn't a sin, but a fundamental law, the law of attraction. When we understand sex as a reflection of the creative force that shaped the cosmos, the Kama Sutra becomes something far greater than a manual of positions or pleasure. It becomes a meditation on how life itself unfolds. It teaches that desire isn't a flaw to suppress, nor a distraction from spirituality, but a doorway into understanding our deepest nature. If the universe is born from Kama, from the pulse of attraction, then our own desires are microcosmic expressions of that same creative impulse. Desire becomes a pathway towards wholeness rather than confusion. That's the heart of this teaching. If sex is rooted in the creative force of the universe, then learning about sex is ultimately learning about ourselves at the deepest level. It involves our mind, emotions, our energy, and our spirituality. The mystery of sex is the exploration of how this primal creative energy shapes our longings, heals our wounds, and reconnects us to our own source. But know this well. The Kama Sutra isn't only a philosophical text, it's also a practical guide, a handbook of human erotic potential. It's both scripture and science. Let me guide you through its teachings in a way that speaks to your modern world. First, he said, comes mastery of arousal. This is a central theme in my teachings, the art of awakening and sustaining sexual arousal. Pleasure doesn't arise by accident, it's cultivated through perfecting the art of connection between lovers. I describe the erogenous zones that were recognized by the ancient teachers: the lips, ears, neck, breasts, inner thighs, genitals, and many subtle regions where touch becomes intensified through attention and imagination. I draw from two earlier schools of erotics which taught how to increase sensation so that a single stroke of the skin may feel either like a flame or water, depending on the lover's intention. Next, I teach how to bring a woman to orgasm. In the art of Kama, a woman's satisfaction isn't secondary, it's primary. A woman's orgasm should be brought about as the rays of the moon falling upon a moonstone, causing it to ooze. This was the ancient metaphor for gentle, progressive arousal, the slow building of heat until release becomes inevitable. I offered precise methods: the tempo of touch, the pattern of kiss and caress, the ways of circling, pressing, and entering with sensitivity. Pleasure isn't rushed, it's nurtured, and not all bodies are the same, and great lovers adapt. So I've recorded the ancient classification of women into 4 types, not as rigid categories, but helpful ways to tailor one approach. Different types require different rhythms, angles, depths, and positions. Thus, I describe the best postures for each type, postures that heighten pleasure, deepen penetration, create the most harmonious bodily alignment. "Shall I continue?" he asked. "Yes, please do," I answered, hungry for more of this teaching. "Then listen carefully," he said. "Within these sutras, I describe 4 kinds of embrace, 26 varieties of kissing. I dedicate an entire chapter to the clitoris, the nature of female arousal, and the many pathways to orgasm. I describe the 4 types of female organs, the sensitive regions around the vulva, the methods of stimulation using the male organ or the fingers. In my world, a lover who doesn't understand the clitoris is unworthy. I speak plainly of cunnilingus and fellatio, the use of the mouth and tongue for deep pleasure. I also describe the use of artificial devices, what your world calls sex toys or vibrators. These aren't taboo, they're tools, extensions of touch, helping lovers to explore pleasure in ways that the body alone might not be able to. As for congress, or sexual intercourse, as you call it, it's said that there are 84 positions. The skillful lover discovers which positions bring the greatest pleasure, comfort, depth, and intimacy, depending on differences in body shape, height, flexibility, or size and depth of organs. Remember, a single position done with presence is worth more than 20 done without awareness. "Do you have any questions?" my teacher asked. I weakly whispered, "No." All my senses were racing, and I couldn't gather my thoughts in order to articulate even one of the many questions that I did actually have. "Then I'll continue," he said, in a matter-of-fact way. "Now, I hope you're not too prudish or faint of heart. Many of the practices your world now calls BDSM were known long before your time. They're not acts of cruelty or forced control, but of consensual erotic play. In the Kama Sutra, I teach 8 kinds of scratching, the art of nail and teeth marks, the exchange of dominant and submissive energies, restraints used with skill, precision, and care. I explain that once lovers are united in passion, all thoughts of more or less pain are abandoned because arousal transforms sensation. But I emphasize that these acts must be guided by affection, respect, and connection. Without these, it certainly isn't art. The Kama Sutra even contains guidance on what you might call ethical non-monogamy, how to conduct multiple relationships responsibly and without deceit. I also reveal the subtle art of seducing a woman, not through manipulation, but by awakening interest, curiosity, and comfort. Seduction includes the way one speaks, dresses, walks, listens, and expresses affection. It includes the way lovers approach one another, how they build tension, how to keep a relationship alive. This isn't mere strategy. Desire is magic, and it's powerful, and it must be handled with wisdom. Understand this. The Kama Sutra isn't pornography. It's a complete science of the erotic, a map of human intimacy. Study it well, and you will understand not only sex, but yourself. With that, I slowly reconnected with my breathing, opened my eyes, and got on with my day. But I'm changed. My life has never been the same since. Magical practice. Find a place where you can be completely undisturbed for about 20 minutes. This practice is an invitation to become more familiar with your own body in a calm, respectful, and mindful way. Choose a warm, comfortable room. You may wish to have some body lotion or oil nearby, and music that relaxes or inspires you. Dim the lights so the atmosphere feels soothing. When you're ready, remove any outer clothing and lie down on your bed wearing either underwear or nothing if that makes you feel comfortable. Give yourself a few quiet moments simply to settle. If you feel shy or hesitant, that's completely normal. Just come back to the rhythm of your breath and decide whether you want to continue. If not, you can pause here and return another time. When you do feel relaxed, close your eyes and cross your arms gently across your chest. Right hand on your left shoulder, left hand on your right shoulder. Breathe deeply and slowly. Begin to bring your awareness into your hands and imagine that you can breathe in and out through them. With each inhale, become more aware of your touch. With each exhale, allow any tension, loneliness, or heaviness to soften and dissolve. When you're ready, begin to move your hands slowly. Let them explore your face with gentle, curious strokes. There's no right or wrong method. Simply allow the touch to be soft, conscious, and kind. Gradually guide your hands across your body at your own pace. Keep your breathing slow and steady, and let your attention remain inside your hands as they explore. Rather than seeking arousal, Think of this as discovering your body's landscape. Let your hands glide along your arms, your torso, your thighs, wherever you feel drawn. Stay attuned to your breath. If it feels natural, you can allow your body to respond with gentle movements. Circular motions of the hips or shoulders can help loosen long-held tension and cultivate a sense of fluidity. There's no goal, no pressure to achieve, or even to feel anything in particular. You're simply exploring your own body for your own pleasure. When your time is complete, rest for a few moments. Place your hands on your shoulders or your chest and take a few deeper breaths. Let your awareness return slowly to the room around you. By exploring your body with kindness, you can gradually cultivate sensitivity, confidence, and a deeper appreciation of your embodied self. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you'll join me again next time. If something in today's episode has spoken to you, maybe stirred a question or touched something inside that wants to heal or go deeper, you're welcome to reach out. If you'd like to arrange a call with me, you'll find a link in the episode description. In the meantime, take these words away with you. Kama is the essence of magic, and magic is the essence of love. I'm David Brown, and this is the alchemy of sex and spirit.